Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Living Seas, but I go by Caesar. Welcome to another video. So today, I want to talk about the 10 most expensive transfers of this last market and how they will fit into their current team. So let's get started. I want to classify them into two different categories, either a big brain move or little brain move. What that means is I will decide if the team did a good job getting this player or a bad job getting this player. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 10, Romelu Lukaku. Lukaku signed to Inter for 65 million from Manchester United. I think Inter actually did a great job getting Lukaku. Inter is one of those teams that loves to play out on the wings. They love to attack and make plays where they can cross. And I feel like Inter really needed that poacher style of a forward where he could just kind of sit there and wait for players to move up and make a good play. Also, he's very strong in the Italian league. When you're strong, you can really stand out. You see people like Pirlo, who stood out for a very long time in the Italian league. Not the strongest or fastest player, but he was just smart. So I think if Lukaku can get to that mindset that Inter and Conte is trying to put into Inter's DNA, then he could be a really great signing. Overall, what I think about this move is big brain move. Rodri signed for Manchester City from Atletico for 70 million euros. Rodri was one of those players that was a very solid midfielder for Atletico whenever he was there. He can shoot with both feet, he can pass the ball, and I think that's the DNA that Man City have built up. They have people like Kevin De Bruyne, like Gundogan, like David Silva. Different people that can pass the ball very well. Maybe they're not the fastest, but they can shoot from outside the box. They can pass with both feet, and that's what makes them so good. See, here's the thing about Man City. They won the league, yet they signed good players. That is a different mentality that they have, that no matter how good they did, they're still looking to improve. And that's the mentality that I think can probably get them really far this year again. I think Man City is a great team. I love what Pep Guardiola does. Overall, I think Rodri can really fit into that DNA where he can step in and become another one of those guys. However, I don't know if they needed someone like Rodri. Kevin De Bruyne is amazing. Gundogan and Fernandinho are amazing. I don't know if Rodri made the right decision going to Man City just yet. Maybe he could have had another season in Atletico now that Atletico is kind of rebuilding, and maybe make something good happen. So because of that, I think the overall move from Rodri to Man City is little brain. Frankie De Jong came to Barcelona for 75 million euros from Ajax. Whenever I saw him play his first game for Barcelona, I was so amazed at how good he did. He was moving the ball. He was doing 1-2s left and right. He was defending. He was moving the midfield. I think he can do it all. Overall, I think he is such a good signing. He is definitely on his way to be one of the top midfielders in the world. And I think Barcelona making a move for him when he is so young is such a great idea. Whenever he did play his debut game with Barcelona, you could just tell, like, he has that Barcelona DNA inside of him. Like, he just looked like he grew up in La Masia, but obviously he didn't. So overall, I think Frenkie De Jong to Barcelona is definitely a really big brain move. Nicolas Pepe signed to Arsenal for 80 million euros. Now, Nicolas Pepe had a really great season for Lille this last year. He had a lot of goals. He was kind of like the breakout player for them. And here's the thing about Pepe. I don't really know too much about him, but he just seems like any other player that's fast and can dribble. And like, I know some of you are probably thinking like, well, he's one of the only people that has dribbled through Van Dijk in a whole game successfully. Like, okay, whatever, I get it. Like, yes, he's good, but like, I don't know, like, is that really what they needed? Like, did they really need someone like Pepe? Like, I think, in my opinion, like, Arsenal could have gone for someone with a little bit more rep. Someone that can really push them up a little bit more. Like, I don't know, someone that can actually step up in those times when they do. Maybe I'm wrong. Arsenal have done this thing where, like, Lacazette and Aubameyang were supposed to be the dynamic duo, and I don't think they ever click that well. And they have their games where they do click very well. But for the most part, I don't know how I feel about it. Overall, I'm going to try to think positive and say that Pepe is probably a big brain move. Hopefully, I really hope the best to Arsenal. So we'll call it Nicolas Pepe, big brain. Lucas Hernandez went to Bayern Munich from Atletico for 80 million euros. Lucas Hernandez is world class. I think Bayern did such a great job getting someone like Lucas Hernandez. Alaba is getting up there in age. Boateng is not the same that he used to be. They needed someone young. And also, Hummels left. Like, they needed someone young to come in and step up in those times of need. And I think Lucas Hernandez can really be that player. Like I said, he's young, he's strong, he's fast, he can shoot, he can get up there in the air, he can play left back and center back. I think overall that is such a great signing. I think Bayern really made a good decision getting Lucas Hernandez. I think Lucas could bring something new to that defense that maybe they were lacking a little bit of in this last season. I wish him the best. I think he's great. So overall, for Bayern Munich, Lucas Hernandez, definitely big brain move. Matthijs de Ligt signed to Juventus from Ajax for 85.5 million. Now this is a good signing. This signing right here is, we're talking about the defender that everybody wanted. He's young. If you look at this kid is such a leader. Like, he is a natural captain. 19 years old, capping for Ajax, helping them win the Netherlands Cup and the Netherlands League. Like, at 19, like, dude, you gotta be amazing. Like, I think he's so amazing. Like, he's tall, he's so strong. His determination, his work ethic, everything about him is just so world class. Like, I think Matthijs de Ligt, arguably on his way to be the next best defender in the world as well. I know we have so many other defenders that are so good right now, but they're getting older in age. And this is one guy that at 19 years old, everybody wanted him. Like, and there's those 19-year-olds that everyone's like hyping them up, but no, like, this guy is just so good. Like, he's so good. I really wish that he would have signed for Barcelona, but at the same time, he's at a point right now where Chiellini got injured at Juventus, so he's having to build that partnership with Bonucci, and I think this is the time where he can learn and he can really cap. Overall, I think Matthijs de Ligt really looked at that option with Juventus as somewhere where he can really develop that leadership that he needs to develop to become someone that is so great. So overall, Matthijs de Ligt to Juventus, and Juventus finally getting their hands on Matthijs de Ligt. I think that is a big brain move. Harry Maguire to Manchester United for 87 million euros. Most expensive defender in history. Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire. Are you kidding me? With all the amazing defenders that we have seen through the years, this is the guy. This is the guy that gets most expensive defender in history? Absolutely not. That's one that I just cannot understand why they would do something like that. I get it. Manchester United's defense was not good last season. Defenders are just nowhere to be seen. Like, they were not solid. They were not consistent, at least. They had their games, but they weren't consistent. So you'd think that after having a year like that, they would go for someone that is going to be a promise for the years to come. And the best that they could come up with is Harry Maguire.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about Harry Maguire. Is he a good defender? Yes, absolutely. Like, he is a great defender. He's not just good, he's great. Is he most expensive defender in history good? No, not at all. At that point, like, break the bank for Matthijs de Ligt. Like, convince him. Buy him a house. Buy him a car. Like, do something else. Like, he's young and he's so good and he's proven so much. Like, go for someone like him. Or look for another defender that is world class. But that's the guy that they go for. And they paid so much money. Like, that is so much money for someone that is 26 years old. And I can't do it. I don't think there's more than I need to say about Harry Maguire. Overall, Manchester United, Harry Maguire, definitely small brain move. Hazard went to Real Madrid for 100 million euros. Now, it's a lot of money. However, his market value was at like 150 million euros. So I don't know what Madrid does, but they always get players for less money than they're supposed to. I don't know how they do it, but they do. So Hazard fitting into that Madrid system, I think he's the perfect player that they could have purchased. Like I've said many times, I think Real Madrid is at a time right now where they're kind of rebuilding. They're trying to see who's going to be the person to step up. Modric is a great midfielder, but he's not the goal scorer. They needed someone that was going to be the guy to step up and get the goals. Gareth Bale sadly couldn't do that. Benzema couldn't do that after Ronaldo left. So Hazard, I think, can be such a great addition to the team. Real Madrid have changed their style of play within the last few years. It seems like this year they do keep possession, but at the same time they do like shooting from far away. They like those long shooters like Toni Kroos and like Modric, but they need someone that can get in the box and make those plays happen. Whenever you have a player that is so dangerous because they can dribble so good and they force the defense to almost put two men on him, it always opens up the middle. It always opens up either a cross or a switch or a drop back so someone can shoot. So having someone that is dangerous like Hazard coming in from that left side, I think can be so good for Real Madrid if only he just doesn't get injured again. I think he can be really great. He did have that one season like 2 years ago where he didn't look so hot anymore and he kind of started to die out. But then last season, he just killed it again. So I think Eden Hazard to Real Madrid can really be something that clicks and can be something really, really amazing for Los Merengues. So Eden Hazard to Real Madrid, overall, really big brain move. Antoine Griezmann to Barcelona. Griezmann signed for 120 mil from Atletico to Barcelona, and I cannot tell you for how long we have all been wanting this to happen. Last season, there was rumors of Griezmann coming to Barcelona. He got together with Piqué, made a whole video about how Piqué was supposed to help him move to Barcelona. And then they make a video about how Griezmann is gonna stay at Atletico. So everyone's super confused and everyone's like, okay, like what happened there? Like what's the deal? But I believe it has to do with how his contract was working, where from the moment that they bought Griezmann, that's when his buyout clause went down to 120 mil. There was talks about lawsuits with Atletico wanting to put a lawsuit on Barcelona because they had a verbal agreement with Griezmann. They approached them because the buyout clause was gonna drop and Barcelona knew that. So then they got a verbal agreement from Griezmann and that's not okay. Bottom line is he finally is here. Now, Griezmann is left-footed, he can shoot, he can pass, he moves the ball so well. Griezmann, I think, can be something so amazing for Barcelona. In the last few games, of course, Messi and Suarez and Dembele have been injured, so we've needed someone to step up. And Griezmann has been there in one way or another, getting assists, making space, getting goals. However he is stepping up, and he's putting the team on his back. As a brand new player, like I've said before, that is not easy at all. You're in a team that doesn't know you, with people that you don't know, and you don't know how to play with them. Somehow he managed to fit in. Same thing, like I said, with Frankie De Jong. He just has that Barcelona DNA where he can do 1-2s and shoot, and he's good with his left foot and create space out of nowhere. Griezmann is my boy. I absolutely love Griezmann. Overall, with Barcelona's gameplay of tiki-taka and also getting some quick counterattacks here and there, I think Griezmann is the perfect player that can do a little bit of both. And he can shoot from outside of the box. So I think even if he plays as something like Cam, if we go to like a 4-2-3-3 with a cam. If Griezmann can play that cam position, I think he can still get a good amount of goals by playing that way behind Suarez. I think that could be a killer formation. I think those 4 players, Griezmann, Dembele, Messi, and Suarez together can be so dynamic and so good. And I'm just so excited for Messi and Suarez to finally come back so that we can see all the magic happen. Of course, if you haven't noticed, obviously, Griezmann to Barcelona. Huge brain move. And finally, the most expensive transfer of the market. Your boy, Joao Felix from Benfica to Atletico Madrid. 127 million euros. That's a lot of money for someone so young. You know, we see players like Hazard and Griezmann, like they're older, but they have proven how good they are. For Joao Felix, we're talking about a player that is so young and still has so much of his career ahead of him. And I know that puts him at a place where we want to say he's probably worth more money than, because he is so young. And in a way, that could be true. But in another way, is like, that's so much money for someone so young. And I saw how he played up in Benfica. And is he a great player? Absolutely. But I think that price tag is way too elevated. Like, I think Benfica saw how bad Atletico wanted someone to fit into their mold, and they took advantage of that. Now, Joao Felix is a player that did fit into that game style of Atletico. He's making really good runs. He's getting those through balls. He's making things happen. He's clicking with Diego Costa. He's scored some great goals. He looks great, don't get me wrong. But I don't know if he looks 127 million euros great. And I know I sound like a broken record, but I'm serious. Like, that is way too much money for someone so young. And of course, you have all these fan clubs and fan Instagram pages saying like,
Joao Felix is already better than Fernando Torres.
Like, all right, calm down. Like, Atletico has seen some great strikers in their past. Falcao, Forlan, Fernando Torres. Atletico has seen some quality strikers in the past. And to just elevate him to a point where you're saying that he's better than some of these other legendary players, I don't know about that. He's good, but I don't know if I'm convinced yet. And guys, that's the last transfer I wanted to cover for today. Let me know in the comments below what you think about these 10 most expensive transfers. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, why do you agree? Why do you disagree? I want to talk to you about it. I want to hear from you. If you haven't subscribed yet, but you've been watching my videos, number one, I guess thank you for watching my videos. But number two, subscribe to my channel now, or the chicken dies. Remember guys that the demo for FIFA 20 drops this week, so next week I will be talking about the best features of the demo, what I think they need to address, where they hit it right on, where I think they need to improve. I'll talk about Volta and just all my thoughts on that. So remember guys, next Thursday, 3 p.m. If you forget, then you have a small brain. But if you're like me and you have big brain thoughts all the time, don't forget, stay positive, share some love, have a nice day.